Okay, let's see if we can't get this to focus first. There we go. Okay, so today we're going to talk about 30, 60, 90 triangles. If we have a 30, 60, 90, okay, so the 90 meaning that we have a right triangle. Depending on the situation, you might get a 30 in which you have to fill in the other 60, or vice versa, okay? In a 30, 60, 90 triangle, there are some special relationships. The side opposite the 30 is called the short leg, and the side opposite the 60 is called the long leg, and then the hypotenuse is still the hypotenuse. Okay, so that is something that you're going to need to know. We can still use trig. So if I give you this information and I give you, I'm going to fill this in, and I say that this is 8, I can still use trig to find the other pieces. So I do not write this down, I could say, so if I'm looking for this piece, I could say that the sine of 30 equals 8 over x. So then x equals 8 divided by the sine of 30. So you can still use trig. But with a 30, 60, 90 triangle, there are some great shortcuts. And that is, if you know the side opposite the 30, I call this my stepping stone. Okay, so from here, I can go and I can find the hypotenuse, or I could find the long leg. If you have the short leg, to get to the hypotenuse, you just simply take it times 2. So that means this would be 16. To find the long leg, you take it times the square root of 3. So 8 radical 3, and you're done. But again, trig will still work. Okay, so if I make this the 30, and I say that the hypotenuse is 12, I cannot go, let me fill in the 60 here, I cannot go to the long leg from the hypotenuse. The side opposite the 30 is your stepping stone. So I'm going to have to go from here to there. So if I am at the short leg and I'm going to the hypotenuse, I take it times 2. But now I'm going backwards. So instead of multiplying by 2, I need to divide by 2, which gives me a 6. Now we're right back to where we were. I have the short leg going to the long leg, so I would take it times the square root of 3. And you are done. Okay, so one of the most confusing things is if you are given the long leg. So if I give you the long leg of, let's say, 10, I have to find the short leg first, because that is my stepping stone, so I have to go from here to here. If I was going from the short leg to the long leg, I would be multiplying by 3, but I'm going backwards, so I'm going to have to divide by the square root of 3. So this would be 10 divided by the square root of 3. I am not going to get all wrapped up in reducing radicals, so I would put this into my calculator of 10 divided by the square root of 3 and then get my decimal answer. So I have the short leg to go to the hypotenuse. Same thing, I'm going to have to take it times 2. So I get 20 divided by radical 3, and again I'd put that in my calculator. 20 divided by square root of 3 and get 11.55. And I'm done. So let's kind of do a quick refresh, if you will. So if I have the short leg, excuse me, times 2 gives you the hypotenuse. The short leg times the square root of 3 equals the long leg. Or you could say that the long leg divided by the square root of 3 gives you the short. And you could say that the hypotenuse divided by 2 gives you the short. Remember, the short leg is opposite the 30, and the long leg is opposite the 60 degrees. And that is it.